Good morning, everybody. Welcome back here to Camaro's Not Coffee. Yes, we have the Camaro right there, but today we're actually working on something with the Suburban, and it involves the rear reverse light. So it can usually be difficult to notice when the lights are out in your car, especially in the rear, but the front also. The only reason that we noticed these were out was because when it's nighttime and dark out, when you unlock the car, the reverse lights actually turn on both sides. And the brake lights all pop on when you unlock it. So we saw that that one was out, and so yeah, the driver's side is the one that's out, but they usually say you want to replace both of them. So the other one is still working, but as I back up, you guys will see that the light is in fact out. And so I'm going to show you the process of how to replace it. Alright, so here's the relatively short list of things that you're going to need for this install. The first and most important being the correct bulbs. So these are 921 Sylvania Silver Star, so they're the brighter, whiter ones. Disposable gloves, just for the process of handling the bulbs. You don't want to actually touch the bulbs. It has something to do with getting the oil of your hands on the bulbs, and that can cause them to have a shorter life, get hot at those points where the oil is. And then the other big thing is the Torx bit, and this is the multi-tool I've been using on a couple different projects here, and it's a T15 Torx bit. So that's all we're going to need. So since we have two sides here, I'm going to take care of this side first, and then I'll explain to you guys what I'm doing on the right side, just so that I make sure I understand the process and give you guys the best information possible. And I apologize for the extra crunching on the floor. That would be these winter containment mats we got, because we got the Nature Stone knockoff floor, and so you don't want all the salt and everything getting on that. So we got these containment mats, and they're great, except it makes a lot of noise when you're trying to walk around. So that's what that is. Okay, so I just got finished doing the driver's side. Everything went well, the light worked, it's all back together, so that is very encouraging. But it was not a super simple process. Even though we didn't need a whole lot of tools, it was a little hard to get this cover piece off, and then to actually pull the whole light assembly out. So I'll go through that with you guys and how I kind of worked around getting it out, and I hope it goes well. Let's get to it. Okay, the first bit is going to be taking this panel off right here. That's where those Torx bits are behind here. So I recommend grabbing up here. You can at least start to pull it out a little bit. It's not really tucked behind here. It's kind of sitting there. And then you're going to want to come to the other side and just pry it away. Alright, this side proved to be pretty difficult, but I started working on this side and working underneath here to pull it off, and then you heard those clicks. Those are these clips coming out. So that's what's holding it in. So once you get this out, you can set this to the side. Next you need your T15 Torx bit, and the bolts are right there and right there, so just take those out. Okay, now we're already to the step of taking the whole housing away from the car. So it'll come off very easily from this side. It'll pull very simply. But do not rip it off this way, because there are little clips on this side, here and here. There's two of them. If you pull this way, something's going to break. So best thing I found was, first I spent some time wiggling it, trying to loosen it up. And then you can get your hand on this side once it's pulled away enough. You can just use your fingers to pull it off. And it comes straight out this way, towards the back of the car. Be careful not to drop this, because it is attached with the cable, and if that fell, it would rip something out here. So from this angle, it's easier to see these clips, or they're actually bolts that are holding, that go into the car, and they go in here and here. So that's what would break off if you just pulled it sideways. You got to pull straight back, getting your fingers on this side behind it, and slowly creeping it forward. Now we're going to take this middle one. This middle one is the reverse light. You got to turn it counterclockwise to unlock it. It's kind of locked in there. And this step was very difficult, so it might just require might require a second set of hands to hold on to this while you're trying to turn it. Somebody holds and somebody turns it. Ooh, there it goes. Okay, since we're planning on replacing this bulb, I just took the screwdriver and I tapped it on here a little bit to try to break free. Here, again, make sure you don't drop the whole assembly. You can kind of set it here where it won't fall, but mind it. Not on this side. Might just put yourself against it so it doesn't fall. So we're going to just, all you do to get the bulb out, grab it, and pull it straight out. And now is when you want to put your disposable glove on, being careful not to touch the actual outside of the glove. So in this case, since I grabbed the outside already, I'm just going to flip it inside out. Alright, this is fairly embarrassing. I can't even get my fingers in it when I flipped it inside out, but again, the key is just to not get your finger oils on there. So I'm just going to take the bulb and, careful not to drop it, you're going to hold it by the big end, and it simply pushes right in, just like the other one popped out. So now I'm going to take this, and you have to put it in the same way it came out, otherwise it will not turn in as you wish it to. But so just carefully push it in there. And I'll just have to see because I don't know which way it came out, but it'll only fit in the one. Okay, so this way it's not going in. So I'm going to flip it over carefully. Alright, there, it went straight to the back, so that means this is the correct way. And then you have to turn it clockwise to put it back. So counterclockwise to take it out, clockwise to put it back. And this is also difficult. So again, it's just a matter of don't drop the housing. And you're just going to have to work at it for a minute until it goes back. So once it's vertical, then you're all good. It's in there. There's an O-ring on it and stuff, so water's not going to get in there. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this here, and I'm not just going to set it, actually. I'm going to look at aligning these bolts in those holes. One down there. Also, start. So there, it started in a little bit. It's just not going in as easy as I thought it would. Okay, now before I completely attach it, I'm going to go turn the car on and put it in reverse. You guys are going to have to let me know if it turns on because I won't be able to see it. So watch for me. Let me know to make sure it works. Hopefully it does. Alright, thanks for keeping an eye on that for me. So now we're just going to reassemble the last couple pieces and we'll be all done. So I'm just going to give this a little more push to make sure it sits in there correctly. The whole top is actually falling out. Kind of got stuck in that clip when I was pulling it out, and now it's moving a little bit freely. More freely than I would expect, but we do have these bolts that'll be holding it in, so I'm not concerned about it. So it's pretty much pushed back as far as it'll go. Put the bolts back in, the T15. Make sure not to over tighten these, but make sure they're snug, especially since this one seems to be a little wobbly, but it's all good in there. I've given it a shake, trying to pull it out and it's not moving. Okay, so I'm just going to take this piece, get it fairly lined up. There's this big hole so you can see approximately where it goes. And then move it around. You'll hear those 3 clicks. 1, there's 2, Okay, so I was pulling it too high up. I had to push it down a little bit, and then it popped into that last one. On the side here, it doesn't actually slide into anything, so you don't have to worry about that. I think this side was behind this piece of weather strip that was back there, and it was, but the piece above it is not behind it, so I'm not going to be too concerned about that. The only thing I will do, now careful when you take any type of sharp edge to plastic, but I'm going to go inside the hole and grab this rubber piece that was over top of it. I will grab this one and pull it back out. And then just work this one back over top. You might have to use the screwdriver around, but you just got to go little by little and pull it over top. Alright, there we go. Alright, and just like that, we're all back together and everything is working great. So I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you have questions, please leave them below. I know you can find other videos out there, but that's kind of the point. I want to make another one just to give people another perspective on what I saw as difficult or challenging, or just to give you another perspective. So I hope you found this useful. If you did, leave a comment below. One last thing I want to mention, I almost forgot, is that it took me about 15 minutes to do one side of the car. So the driver's side 15, passenger side 15. If you've done this before, you might be quicker. I have never changed the bulb in a car before, so this is my first time ever. Just looked up a little bit online how to do it, the approach, and so 15 minutes is really not too bad for do-it-yourself, and the bulbs cost $11.50, so fairly cheap project replacement, something easy you can do yourself. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have an awesome rest of your day. Peace.